lot of y'all are gonna be mad with this one, but y'all gotta hear me out. Now, y'all know I post at least one update a day, and that's in the morning. So for y'all to be seeing me right now is major. Massey was just caught. And guess where he was caught at? Man, this dude was caught in New Orleans, yo. I got something for us to read, but check this out. He was caught literally like 30 minutes ago. I don't get it. Why were you still in New Orleans? I'm gonna tell y'all, look at this. I'm gonna show y'all how he got caught. Of course it was an anonymous tip. We gonna see if she get that money though, but let's read this. So she doesn't want her name to be disclosed. She's a property owner of an Airbnb, right? So according to her, she left the Airbnb unlocked. And she said she just all of a sudden had no idea how he got in the crib. So now it is literally one left, and that's Groves. I'm just trying to understand though, Massey, why were you still in New Orleans? Something don't seem right. Something do not seem right. This lady is an Airbnb host. She rents out her properties, right? And if you rent out your properties, that's a source of income, correct? So you leave your source of income unlocked, really? And then when you find Massey in the crib, you go tell the law enforcement, cool, he here. But I don't know how he got in here. Your doors were unlocked. Y'all, this is insane. Something ain't right. Maybe she trying to get up on that 50K. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. But y'all, it's just one left. Massey is caught. And it's crazy, but a lot of people is going to be sad about this one. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm going to keep y'all updated too.
So New Orleans prison escapee Antoine Massey has been captured. He was captured without incident in the Holly Grove section of New Orleans. He was alone in the house, and the police are saying that they got a tip. Somebody snitched on Antoine. And remember, Antoine Massey is one of the, I think it was 10 inmates that escaped just after midnight from a prison in New Orleans on May 16th. We saw the video, of them running, just like haul-assing out of a gate or a door or something. And all of them has been caught except for Derrick Groves and Antoine Massey, but Antoine Massey was just caught today. So Derrick Groves is the only one now that's still on the lam, right? And like I said, they caught him. They ran up on him. He gave up right away. He was in the house by himself. The police saying that they got a tip, but we know that before he got caught, in this running for the last 6 weeks, he was doing videos, basically taunting the police and showing his paperwork saying that he was innocent. We know that woman that was allegedly supposed to have charges with him got arrested. It was people, they was locking up people that was aiding and abetting and helping Antoine and a lot of these other inmates that ran off. We know that they was raiding his home, his family's homes. The family has been pleading for Antoine to turn himself in for some time now. But now he's back in the custody. But we're finding out that Antoine was a gingerbread man. He was definitely a gingerbread man. He has multiple escapes from prison, from juvenile on up. This guy is, he's been hopping fences, digging holes. He's been finding all kinds of ways to get out of prison. Well, and this time he's back in custody. But let's revisit what he said a couple weeks ago when he made the video proclaiming his innocence by showing some paperwork. Check it out.
I'm one of the ones that was let out with Jesus. What I want to talk about today is as far as why I was in Orleans Parish Jail. I was in custody for almost 8 months. All right, 6 months, something like that. I was in there for theft of a motor vehicle and domestic violence strangulation. That's what I was in Orleans Parish for. Okay, but before I was in Orleans Parish, I was in a jail called St. Tammany Detention Center. All right, St. Tammany Jail here, man. St. Tammany Parish. That's two different parishes, Orleans and St. Tammany. Okay. Today, what I want to talk about is that I was on second degree rape, domestic abuse, domestic abuse, violation of protective order, right? On this woman right here, her name is Diamond White. That's her name. This is a district attorney drop form right here. And she's not a child. She's an adult, a full adult. I was dating this woman. This is a legalized affidavit saying all allegations against me is false. All allegations against me is false. I was nowhere around her or none of that during the timing of the date, which was November the 10th of 2024. Okay. So I was in Centennial, right? And I was on a regular domestic charge, right? So they put a parole hold on me because I was on a domestic charge. So with that being said, is that once that occurred, and the charges was refused or whatever, they shipped me to Orleans Parish where I had more open charges, was the theft of a motor vehicle and the domestic abuse involved. So once I got in Orleans Parish jail, all right, I have from the district attorney's office, this woman who they say that I initially another parish and in Orleans Parish is the same woman here. It's not different females, it's the same grown woman, not a child, a grown woman. Okay, she did the same thing in Orleans Parish, right? Correct. I'm about to show you how the system is corrupted. Okay, she did this, right? Saying all allegations against me is false, and she even saying it. You know, she let them know the truth that I never did this to her. I never hit her. I was nowhere around her. Nothing. She got mad and thought that I was dealing with another woman. That's why she did what she did to me. You know what I'm saying? Another thing too. Once I got into Orleans Parish, I was there for like a month or something like that. Okay, a lot went on as that time progressed. Okay, if you was an innocent person and you know the judges and DA know that this person is saying that all the charges that you're on that you did not do, why was you still in jail?
And see, that was Antione. He was calling out to anybody that was listening. Meek Mills, President Trump. He was calling out to anybody that was listening because he was saying that he was locked up on some trumped up charges. And before he get caught, he just wanted to put that word out where people could see the paperwork. So now when he gets back into court, he can have a chance. Because he was saying that the New Orleans court systems are real racist and they railroading brothers into jail on very long prison sentences. Well, today he was taken into custody, and this is what the police are saying. Check it out.
News this afternoon, one of the 10 escaped inmates from Orleans Justice Center has been recaptured this afternoon, according to the U.S. Marshal's Office. Antoine Massey, who has been known for making social media posts as he's been on the run, he was one of the 10 inmates who escaped from the Orleans Justice Center several weeks ago now. He and Derek Groves were the only two remaining still on the run. But this afternoon, we have learned at WWL Louisiana that Antoine Massey has been recaptured. We just got off the phone moments ago with the U.S. Marshal's Office. They confirmed to us here at WWL Louisiana that he is, in fact, back in custody, that he was taken back into custody in the Holly Grove neighborhood. And investigative reporter Mike Pearlstein is joining me on the set this afternoon. You just got off the phone with them. Tell me what else you know. This happened in Holly Grove, as I mentioned?
Right, in the 9400 block of Strolitz, not far from the Costco on the way to Metairie Road. This was all within the past hour, so this is very fresh news and information. Antoine Massey was found inside of a residence. He was alone. He, according to Brian Fair of the U.S. Marshal Service, he was captured without incident. In fact, he gave himself up once surrounded by law enforcement. This actually came from a Crime Stoppers tip, Katie. So we know that a $50,000 reward had been offered for some weeks now. They had been waiting on tips, in fact, pursuing some of them unsuccessfully until today. This tip panned out. Somebody will be collecting $50,000. It came through Crime Stoppers. Other agencies involved, the U.S. Marshals were kind of leading the search, but instrumental and at this residence were representatives of the New Orleans Police Department, Louisiana State Police, U.S. Marshals, of course, along with JPSO, not far from the Jefferson Parish border.
That's right on the line.
They assisted. Obviously, they were taking, no chances or risks with these. This particular escaped inmate being considered potentially armed, potentially dangerous, but it ended peacefully. He's now back in custody. Obviously, he'll be facing a charge of escape in addition to the previous charges for which he was being held at the Orleans Justice Center of domestic violence that included rape.
Yes, absolutely. Now, this area that we were looking at on your screen, this is a map where that house is, where Antione Massey, one of the Orleans Justice Center escapees, was taken back into custody. If you're just joining us, that happened just a few moments ago. This area is really not too far from Xavier University's campus, which may be a bit unnerving for some parents out there who may be watching this, to know that Antione Massey was hiding out in a house right there, not that far from the Costco where a lot of people frequent. You know, hundreds, thousands of people go through that Costco every day. And apparently Antione Massey did not get far when they escaped from the Orleans Justice Center,
and remember,
all 10 of them.
You know, it was kind of assumed in the case of Antione Massey in particular that he may not have gone far. We saw that previously he posted a video of himself on social media that was identified as a house near the fairgrounds, which was promptly descended upon by the law enforcement agencies. He had not been there, so assumed that whenever he videotaped that, it was sometime earlier before he posted it. But that gave them an idea that he probably had not fled across state lines or anything further. What is interesting, we've seen in many of these other escapees, accomplices arrested, booked with accessory to the escape. Right now, no such other people known to be involved in helping him, assisting him. Nobody was at that house in that Holly Grove area when they descended upon it to make that arrest. He gave himself up peacefully. Now, of course, we'll see once they debrief Antione Massey if he provides any additional information. He was considered, Katie, one of the masterminds
yes, I mean,
of
we learned
the
that.
escape.
We learned that, yes, through the fact that they've arrested several other people, and so that has given us a bit of a paper trail as we've continued to cover this.
And he's been perhaps the most visible by popping up on social media. There had been many tips generated about his whereabouts, including the one himself going on social media. They were able to pinpoint a house there. It's now almost 6 weeks since that escape. It is really considered remarkable that Massey, up until today, and Derek Rose, the other escapees still at large, managed to stay out for so long with such a large reward being offered.
Apparently, one tip is all it took.
That's right, and that is always the kind of mystery of being a fugitive. How many people know of the whereabouts? Who did he trust? Well, apparently, I don't know if it was him letting his guard down or somebody deciding 50,000 was just too tempting to pass up, but it was in fact a Crime Stoppers tip. And Brian Fair, the spokesman for the U.S. Marshal Service, said that reward will be collected by the tipster. Yeah, well, obviously there's still a $50,000 reward for information out for Derek Groves.
So here we go. Jail escaping Antione Massey caught after weeks on the run. Derek Groves remains free. Massey's capture ends a weeks-long manhunt. Fugitive Derek Groves is now the only New Orleans Justice Center escapee still free. Antione Massey is one of two inmates that still was Antione Massey, one of two inmates still on the run after May's dramatic New Orleans Justice Center jailbreak has been captured by U.S. Marshals. Multiple law enforcement sources confirmed the WWL Louisiana. His arrest marks a major development in the massive multi-agency manhunt that has stretched for more than 6 weeks, involving state police, the federal U.S. Marshals, and local law enforcement. Right, so they've been hot on his tail. Authorities said a Crime Stoppers GNO tip helped lead to his arrest. U.S. Marshals said Massey was caught at a residence in the 9400 block of Stolitz in Holly Grove on Friday. Officials said Massey was captured peacefully without incident. State police said he will be transferred to Angola State Prison. WWL Louisiana was on the scene and spoke to a woman who owned the property, sometimes used as an Airbnb. The woman said she did not know who was staying there. Law enforcement said that Massey undoubtedly had helped had helped to stay on the run for 6 weeks. During a press conference on Friday, Derrick Rose remained on the run, and officials urged him to turn himself in. One woman was arrested for allegedly helping him. Louisiana State Police transferred Massey to Angola late Friday night. State Police said he was flown by LSP air support. Man, so they took him in a helicopter, man, and man, Massey and Derrick Rose were the last two fugitives from the May 16th escape when 10 inmates tampered with a sliding door, disappeared behind a toilet into a plumbing chase, and scaled fences to freedom in the middle of the night. Eight were recaptured within days, man. So this guy, man, he's back in there. He has some real nasty charges. And like I said, he was making videos trying to proclaim his innocence. The police was pleading for them to come in, saying that they would have lawyers ready for him. This whole thing was a mess. And like I said, we saw the images of them running out of the prison. But I don't know. He's going to have his day in court now. I hope that he don't turn up unalived down there in them southern prisons, man. I just hope not, because he embarrassed the whole state of Louisiana. He embarrassed the city of New Orleans. There's a lot of heads that's going to roll because of this. But we'll see how this play out, man. There's more of this come out. I'll report more of it. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.